Do you feel like, or did you notice any effects from your experience? Did it have any effect on your dependents, your spouse, or your children?
I mean, no, sure, and obviously, I mean, not just that one, right? I don't want to. There are a lot of folks in the military who saw a lot crazier stuff than I did. 9/11 is 9/11 because it's again, it's one of those places that has become American history. But there are so many people with stories like that that went to Iraq, Afghanistan, these places, and even if you didn't do that, there people can experience trauma in different ways and different things, and it may not be to that nth degree, but it is no less real to that person. Even separating the same guy, I saw these, these I picked up a kid's shoe, in the Pentagon, and we all tear. That affected me in that way at that time. But when I got out, that affected me in a completely different way. Here I've been in the military, associated with the military for so long, and it helped define who I was. And I had these group of people that, it was almost like an escape every month to come be around like-minded people and get away. And then all of a sudden, I got medically retired, and I didn't have that anymore. And it was a big jolt. And it was something that I'm sure I carried home, both of those things, and it's, again, the ability and the process to be able to unpack that stuff in a healthy way is really what gets you through it. And I feel for people who think that they have to keep everything inside or do keep everything inside, because they should, they shouldn't do that. They should. And thank goodness the Army has gotten better about, telling people that they shouldn't do that.
And I am so glad that you brought up the transitioning out of the military, because that alone it's a very big struggle, and it can be traumatic. You go from having that support system and being told what to do every day, like you have meals, you have a set routine, and then you get out of the military and you have freedom. You don't have your family right there by you like you did when you were in the service. So can you talk a little bit more about your transition out of the military?
I'm sorry, what was that? I missed it.
Oh, can you talk a little bit more about your transition out of the military?
Yeah, so by then I was guard, and we have a very small unit, small MTO. It was like 15 or 20 people. It was an MPAD, Mobile Public Affairs Detachment, but a very tight knit unit, very like minded people, friends. I mean, we guys that deployed together, spent years together. And then just removing yourself from that and seeing them every month. And, a lot of those guys are from upstate. I still talk to them all. I don't see them all the time. But we still have a relationship. It was just the transition and how that, after a few months, granted, not having to plan training for drill and drive up there, that's all great, but just not seeing those guys, not having soldiers to take care of, those things that really help define you when you're in, it kind of leaves a hole. And it's nice to be able to work through that with people who are professional and know the stages that you need to go through to get through it.